Hey, my name is Fraser and welcome to episode 4 of my Photon Smasher adventure. And in today's episode, I'm playing with lasers. Throughout this video series, I'm exploring the creation of the Photon Smasher, an instrument that turns light into sound, and I'm exploring different ways of using it to make music. So far you've seen me design the circuit, the artwork, experiment with different lights at home, and also create an installation. Well, in today's episode, I'm handing the Photon Smasher over to someone else to see what they can do with it. Specifically, Lula York, an incredible experimental musician. I went to visit Lula in her studio to see what we could do with her laser projector and what kind of sounds we could create. Neither of us really knew what it was going to sound like. Pretty noisy, pretty glitchy. We weren't really sure, but we were pretty blown away by what we ended up creating. So without further ado, let's visit Lula in her studio. Here we go. I'm Lula York, I'm a sound artist and composer. I like to make noisy artworks, so this Photon Smasher is a lot of fun. So we've been using a synthesizer and a sequencer to play a pattern, which has then been translated into sound wave that can be represented as a graphical kind of XY axis, which is creating the shapes on the wall, and the laser beam is kind of tracking that motion and recreating it on the wall for us. And then we've put a slinky in front of the laser beam, and we've been holding the Photon Smasher just at the sort of so that it's getting the reflection of what the laser beam is projecting onto the wall back down the slinky, and the Photon Smasher has amazingly been picking that up. It's been picking up the tune and it's been playing back, you know, recognisable pattern. So that's really exciting and it looks really great. And yeah, and then we've had like some effects going as well, just to kind of like bring it all together a bit. And yeah, it looks and sounds really good. Is it what you expected?
No, it's way better than I expected.
What did you expect out of it?
I just kind of expected it to buzz, to be honest. I wasn't really expecting it to be as accurate as it has been. And actually some of the tones it was getting out of it were kind of bordering on sort of FM synth, like an old Virus synth or something, like really, really gnarly, interesting tones, but then also actually able to make some quite nice, delicate ones as well. So it was really, really responsive to the sound waves that it was picking up through light, which is completely bonkers and very exciting.
do you imagine doing next with it? Or like what ideas are coming to mind, how you'd like to use it?
Yeah, well, definitely like being part of a show or part of an installation, because like we're doing a big thing for Spill Festival and kind of on the lookout for like ways to use the laser, you know, ways to like bring the laser into that show. And obviously just representing the sound waves of the things that we're making is one way of doing it, but actually making that feedback loop of playing it back into itself through the Photon Smasher would be a really interesting thing. And actually visually it's really beautiful as well. Just the reflections that it was causing and the way the light was bouncing around, and the light bouncing down the slinky and then bouncing off the Photon Smasher, because it's got like a Perspex cover that was also refracting the light. So it was just kind of making the throw of the laser a lot bigger and a lot more interesting as well.
So there we go. That's what happens when you shine a laser at the Photon Smasher. We were both blown away by the incredible sounds that the Photon Smasher was creating. It was a pretty amazing evening in the studio, and I was wearing a smile across my face for like days afterwards, just looking back at the footage and yeah, being blown away by how amazing it sounded. It's definitely something I think we'll both want to explore further, and I'm kind of really proud of how great the Photon Smasher sounds as well. It was also really cool just seeing it in the hands of someone else and looking at the ergonomics of the device, thinking about the changes that I might want to make to this prototype. And if you've got something you'd like to shine at the Photon Smasher, then hit me up, leave a comment, get in touch. I'd love to hear what this sounds like in front of all sorts of different things. I've got all kind of ideas buzzing around my head now off the back of that session. The music that we made was pretty incredible, and it definitely gave me tons of ideas for a gig that I've got coming up on the 10th of August at Colchester Arts Centre. So if you want to hear the Photon Smasher in action live, then head down to Colchester Arts Centre on the 10th of August. I'll leave a link in the description down below if you'd like to come along and have a listen. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do hit subscribe. There's plenty more stuff like this coming, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers. Bye bye.